Hello everybody and welcome back to the Valley of the Old Farm, the Keep It Real series. I think this is episode 6 now. Episode 6 already. So hopefully you've caught up with all the other episodes so far. Same again really, right at the end of the last one we got our first vehicle. And I tell you what, it looks a lot better in the daylight than it does in the night. It's actually pretty damn cool, isn't it? What I'm hoping is this means we can actually move on to contracts a little bit further out. At least that's what I'm hoping. So we're going to head there. We're not going to muck around. Time's obviously set at times 10 again. Does get through the day relatively quickly. But yeah, we're going to head to the new place for contracts. So thanks for the kind of tip, the hint, I guess, from John. So actually, why not make the local pub a place where you collect your contracts rather than kind of a random postcard stand? So that's what we're going to do. So from now on, I believe it's down here somewhere. I think he said it's the very end building. But from now on, this will be the place that we have to travel to get a contract. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it, really? You probably would pick up jobs and things in the pub. Whether or not you go to the pub at 1 minute to 9 in the morning, I'm not so sure. Now it's one of these buildings here, but I think the giveaway is the sound it makes rather than what it looks like. So we'll just park up here. And yeah, one of these is definitely a pub. This one here. So I guess it kind of doesn't look like a pub. However, actually I think it's this one here. This is now officially the pub. So this is our contract point. So we're going to jump straight in. I don't want to take too long talking because you tend to lose contracts. So yeah, I'm very hopeful we can travel out a little bit further now. Now that we have the means to kind of go to different places, maybe do a contract a little bit different. I don't want to be, I've seen a comment, I don't want to be doing baling all the time, by the way. There was an episode where we did do weeding, so I haven't just done the baling. But the problem is the money that you make from weeding is so pathetic, it's not really worth the time. But we'll go from the bottom to the top. So we've got some ploughing jobs. Some of them are pretty good, but ploughing, anyone who's done it, is a bit tedious. What influences my decision still, by the way, is the equipment you get. Now, I don't want to be doing something with a brand new Deutzfahr, for example, you know, and like a 6 meter plough. I want to start smaller. We've got to build that reputation up, don't you forget. Cultivating, probably easy money. Using is it an 8RX or a 9RX there? You just wouldn't do that. If I was new to the area, I doubt very much Xavier Guini would trust me with his big tractor like that. So that is what's influencing my decision. And that's why a lot of the time it kind of defaults to baling. But I don't want to do it. I want to do something different. I mean, we've got Fertilizing there. I recognise that chap. Not called Jean, though. Okay, so, I mean that... You know, that's reasonable. We did do a fertilizing contract right at the very beginning. But what we're going to make, minus just under £1,000 there. So we're going to make about 5 grand from that, so just over 5 grand. Actually, field 58, I'm not going to look on the map because it'll be a bit of a challenge to get there. Nice. Well, we've accepted that one anyway, so that is good. So we'll jump back into our R200. Okay. Yellow car is letting us go. So let's head on down. So yeah, I do know roughly where the field is because of course I've just tweaked the settings a bit to get the equipment delivered there. So, but I'm going to avoid using the minimap as much as possible. So we're going to head down here, follow this road pretty much. And eventually we will see the equipment which belongs to the farmer of who's kind of paying us, I guess. So we'll keep following it until we see it. Now, I did mention in my last video, in the Sask video, I'm not sure if everyone watches that yet, potentially not. Certainly doesn't get as many views as these do, but I just mentioned about terraforming or terrafarm, which is a mod where you can actually do the landscaping in the equipment, which I've never tried, and it looks pretty damn cool. I've only ever seen the farm sim guy do it on the multiplayer series that he did with RC Gaming, and it looked challenging, but it looked fun. So we're going to do it. We're going to give it a go. I'm not quite sure how we're going to play it, because obviously we can't afford the equipment. There is no rule against leasing in this series, so we could lease it, not a problem. But I think the cost of leasing is also very expensive. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to play it. We'll kind of cross that bridge once we get to it. But I think that would be pretty cool, you know, to do that terraform mod. Don't know how difficult it's going to be. It looks like we are here anyway. This is quite a big old field actually. It is quite a big field. Now where's the official driveway in? There. So we'll just put up park here. Off the road. Okay. Wonderful. This is quite a big job. It is quite a big job. Now, just before we start, it is getting on now, it's 10 o'clock already. I will just look in the settings. You are able to tweak the slip mod. I don't know what the official name is for it now. The one that allows you to have ground damage. And someone did ask whether or not you can adjust it, and yes you can, just to answer that question. And yes, I'm going to tweak it ever so slightly now. Right, slip destroys field. So it's on medium, which is recommended. Determines how much the fields are destroyed. I'm not going to change that actually, I will leave it on medium. But you have little, none, much. So we'll leave it on medium, but you are right by the way, it does damage the fields quite a bit, but that's where my driving needs to improve. So here we go, nice New Holland. A New Holland by the look of it. We're going to jump straight in. Okay, right, we'll connect that up. We will attach the weight. To be honest, personally, I don't think you ever really need the weight for these anyway, but we will attach it as soon as it's there. Oh, nearly ran it over. Brilliant. And I'll just very quickly, I'll do it on camera this time round just so you can see how I do it, but just going to fill the trailer with the fertilizer. So select the trailer first and then fill it with solid fertilizer, because we did agree right from the very beginning we wouldn't actually be paying for that, which is good. I am glad of that. Now let's get on with this job now, because it is 10:25 already, and to be honest, these don't actually take very long normally, do they? Okay, not too long at all. It's difficult to fertilise a field when it's at this growth stage though. It is quite challenging, especially when you haven't got the mini-map up at the bottom, but I'll see how I get on without it. I might have to turn it on though. You can just about make out light from dark maybe if you're lucky. But anyway, right, this shouldn't take too long. What have I got to talk about in the meantime? A few little things, I guess. Thank you very much for everyone, the original subs, the new subs. It's quite amazing really, because I've gone from 74 back in January, the end of January, when I thought I'd really kind of go for it. This tractor is not working, is it? So yeah, when I thought I'd really kind of go for YouTube. Oh dear, completely stuck. Just had to unstick myself then. So yeah, when I thought I would kind of really go for it, I was at 74 subs, which was good. You know, back then I was so happy with that, and you know, it's never anything about money. That's not the reason I do it. It's just nice for people to see kind of how I play the game, I guess, and chat to people. But now, here and now, you know, I'm over 1,100 subs, so over 1,100 subs, in that short amount of time. I'm really impressed. I'm quite happy. So thank you very much. Please do, if you're watching this, if it's appeared on your wall and you haven't subscribed, you know, I'm just a genuine kind of guy, and I would appreciate it. So jump on that little button there, which should be in the corner, and hit the subscribe button. Now you can really see the this is the REA wheels mod that's causing this issue. So it's not the mud mod because it's not been raining. This is just the sheer weight. Yeah, it's just the weight, I guess, of the equipment. So in this kind of series with these sort of mods, we are really going to have to get into the detail of thinking about, do we actually fill the equipment fully? If we don't have a tractor that's powerful enough to pull it, you know, this fertilizer spreader half full would probably be much easier to work on than it is currently. So it's lots of, I like it because it's just given me lots of extra little bits to think about. Now I am just going to put that little mini map up because at this growth stage it is quite challenging, where it's a lot better downhill, that's for sure. So today is the end of October actually, so in the next episode we will be in a position where we've been in our property long enough to apply for a loan, which will be amazing. So I don't know how we're going to end this episode, not 100% sure, but we should have a decent amount of money. But yeah, the ability to have a loan would be great, just to buy that first plot of land. Of course, if we go by the terraform rule, we're not really going to be able to landscape it. So it is just going to be kind of a derelict piece of land. Not really a lot going on for a short while. Let's just reverse this back. Maybe we'll go up the field the other way. Yeah, these mods, they really do make you think about different ways of playing, because this is a bit of a challenge. I mean, naturally they've given you narrow crop tyres because we're fertilising a field that's already been seeded and started to grow. However, that's probably given us the least amount of grip on this quite hilly field. Actually, it's not level, is it? It's not very level at all, really. But it's fine, we'll get there, we'll get there. Now, just while we're in this area, actually, I think it was NC mentioned in the comments, there is a plot of land a bit further down this end of the world, which is probably worth having a little look at. So while we're here, once we've completed the job, we will probably jump on to that plot of land and just have a little look, see what it's like. My only reservation, the only thing that puts me off, is this is quite far away from the main town. Now, if we say we need a little service on the truck or eventually the tractor, it's going to be a taxi each time to get back to the plot of land, which will work out to be quite expensive. So I'm not so sure. It's a few more things to consider if we were to do that. Now, I'm too busy talking, I'm not actually looking at the minimap to see what I have and what I haven't done. As a preference, I always prefer to get this fertilising done much before this stage, ideally. don't think we'll be too far off now getting this contract finished. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. It's a real challenge. These narrow crop tyres, they are a challenge. Right, 93% complete. That sounds good to me. So we're pretty much there now. I think in fact it's only this sort of corner section, which we couldn't do because we couldn't get the grip just to get up that little bit of hill there. But yeah, other than that we are pretty much done. So this job really didn't take that long at all. Fertilizing contracts are my preference. They're such an easy thing to do. They really don't take very long at all. Now, if we can get up this hill, which we kind of can, I will just finish the field. Stick with the whole realism thing, even though it has already said contract finished. But we will just do it now. We'll finish the job. So yeah, ideal. So we're going to make a little bit of money. It'll put us just over the £10,000 mark, which is amazing. But all we're doing today really is saving it. So next episode is when we will apply for a loan. Absolutely. Don't know how much loan to take out because the interest rates will be high. And we need to kind of make sure we have a way of earning the money to pay it back. I don't honestly know what the contracts will be like when we get into the winter months. I can't imagine there'll be any baling contracts over the kind of the winter months, December, January, February. So we do have to kind of forward plan really, make sure we have enough to pay the next few months of rent. Now, I'll just leave it on screen and I'll show you very quickly how I do the opposite. I need to empty the oh, it's flipped to diesel. I don't want that. Let's go select the trailer first, and then I need to empty it because otherwise it reimburses me, which means I'm going to get a load of money for free. Do not really want to be doing that. So, not bad. Job well done, I think. And yeah, I did damage the field a little bit over there, but it doesn't matter. We still finished the contract. I'll tell you what though, I don't know if it's something's reset itself, but I need to tweak my render distance, don't I? Because I'm not sure how this is going to show by the time it uploads into a video, but you can kind of see that circle. Your kind of surrounding area circle. It's just kind of like there-ish for me. It's a little bit annoying. So I will tweak that next time I reload the game. Now anyway, contract. So we have completed that. So we get £5,464. Amazing. And it's only 12:30, which isn't too bad at all. Right, let's get rid of the mini map in a minute. Have a look on the map. So let's try and figure out what NC was saying about. Because somewhere around here, there is another small plot of land. I might have to load up my comments and have a look, but I want to say, he said it's like 100, 110 maybe, did he say it was? He did say it's a bit further out. 101. Oh yeah, okay. It's 51,000 though, but it is right next to us. Let's go have a look. Hopefully there are no cars coming. Reversing onto a main road is never a good idea. Okay, let's go have a look. 101. It's 51,000 though, so it's just going to be a little bit more of a loan than what I was kind of planning on taking out at this stage. But if it's worth it, then ideal. Okay. It's not there. Where is it? I think it might be that, you know. Oh, we've been undertaken. Taken too long. I think it might be there. What is that building? Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, well this is it. This is the plot. Yeah, and actually, it's quite a big plot. So this is the immediate kind of level area. However, it does kind of go right up here. I think it kind of ends here, adjacent to the field, I guess. Although, to be honest, this piece of land here is probably completely useless. Really, I don't know what we would do with it. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Where does the bit of land finish? It is a big old section of land, but it's kind of a random section of land. If it was flat, it would probably be much more beneficial to us. Yeah, I don't know. I like the fact that it's got a few trees, though. Not too many trees, but maybe enough to give us some desperate income if we need it. I like the fact that it's got a shed. That's the biggest benefit of it. It's a randomly placed ladder there, though. Okay. Wow. What do you think if you're watching it? I'm not 100% convinced. I don't know. Because really, the only usable area is this. But actually, is that much different to the other one anyway? I'm not so sure. Right. We need to head on back. We'll just have a look in the shop, actually. Because we haven't looked to see what's available and used. Not a lot. In fact, I'm pretty sure that was the last episode. Well, we're looking pretty good, you know. It's only 13:41. We've done a contract. We made a bit of money. Not done too long a length of recording, I don't believe. So potentially, we have got time to do something else, something small. Ideally, not a baling job. I've done that a couple of times now. To be honest, before I'd even started recording this series, I'd never even done a baling contract. However, I'm just trying to kind of stick to the small jobs with the worst equipment, I guess, which is default of me to having to do a couple of those. But I'd rather not do those again if I can help it. Now, that curb looks a bit high there, doesn't it? Maybe I'll park it up on this lower bit of curb. And we'll just pop back to the pub and just see if anyone else has got anything going. Okay, yeah, so lots of baling. This very much seems to be a kind of grassy kind of map. Definitely. Which is really good, by the way, because I am thinking eventually, once we get to it, I'll probably quite like to do cows. So I've done the chickens in one of my series, not a great deal, but chickens. Chickens are pretty common, everyone does chickens. Second series then in Sask, I've put a lot of time and effort into pigs, which was kind of a bit different for me. And I really enjoyed the pigs actually. And then I've just recently gone with sheep as well. So I don't want to go with sheep. So I haven't really done cows. Not in the world of YouTube recording anyway. Obviously I've done them a heck of a lot, but now while I'm talking, I am just looking. I'm tempted by a harvesting contract, I really am. But it's sugar beet. It's sugar beet. I don't know if I want to do sugar beet. Okay, how big is field 17? Where even is field 17? Field 17 is that one there. Oh, in fact, that's the field that we were damaging in the last episode, I think, isn't it? That's quite a big field, for not a lot of money. Let's have a wander around there, because it's only around the corner. Yeah, I don't know. When I said I wanted a little job, it's a little amount of money, but it is not a little job, is it? That's quite a big field to plough. That's a really big field to plough, in fact, with a 3-furrowed plough. That's going to take ages. So long. That's going to take so long. I'm not too keen to do that, if I am honest with you. But yeah, no, going back to the cows, I think all of those baling contracts is amazing, because if we can take a couple of hay bales off the back of each contract, then actually that will, as a start, get us going, get us earning enough food for the cows. Now I do think, by the way, this is the one. 26,553 is what we need to be earning to get that one. So in my SAS series, I'm literally about to place interactive mod, and it's the one where you can kind of make soya milk, which is basically just soybeans and mineral water, which is just a kind of an extra product that's added on with that mod. But I'm just wondering, I would quite like to do it on this one because it's entirely interactive. Everything's manual. You have to do it by hand. It's very much kind of like a shop version of the honey mod. I'm sure a lot of people watching this would have seen Daggerwin. Back in FS19 he had a really good mod where you had to kind of manually do everything to make honey. It was really cool. This is sort of the equivalent but in a shop form. So what I'm thinking is, at some point I would like to do that in this episode. In this series, sorry I should say, for definite. But should I make it a placeable we have to buy? Or maybe I place it on the map and we kind of have it there as a bit of a job, a bit of a side income. I don't know, maybe we only make 50% of whatever we actually sell it for. 50% of it goes to the owner of the shop. I don't know, a little bit of roleplay to go along with the realism, I guess. Let me know what you think. I think that would be quite cool though. It's certainly an option, but either way, eventually I will try and integrate that sort of interactive thing into this map. To be honest, it's a bit late to start a job. I'm not going to do this bit with Terraform, but I am definitely going to use the Terraform mod for definite. But for here and now, we're going to, at our own cost, sort this area out and just make ourselves a small little driveway for the truck. And one thing I need to do is level it, actually, because it's definitely not very level. So I don't know, will I time lapse this bit? Maybe. It will probably take, I don't know, 30 seconds in a time lapse to watch, but I will just do this bit really quickly. Okay, there we go. I think that looks alright. Nice little drive area to park our truck. Lovely. So, pretty much rounding off the episode, I think. Maybe not as interesting as the previous ones, not quite as thrilling. But hopefully still enjoyable. I'll probably get on with recording the next episode straight away, actually, because the next episode is going to be the juicy one. That's going to be the one where we can take out a loan and we can make that official purchase. And why would you park right there? Right. Try and do this without coming out of this view. It's challenging. Hopefully we can fit inside the gate alright. That would be a bit of a disaster if it didn't even fit in there, wouldn't it? That's where you've got to use those mirrors. Now, which one was it, did I say? That's the one. Oh, good. Loads of room. This, honestly, being able to change your mirrors makes such a difference for me. I wish they did that on every truck. Right, we don't want to hit the wall. But we want to make sure we're in enough. There we go. Ideal. That is a tight squeeze. That is a really tight squeeze. But I think I've just about done it. Just about. We'll soon find out. I'm not going to clip this bit. If it starts flipping and bouncing around and hitting that tree, you'll see that I've failed. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Made to fit. Must be fate. Ideal. So not bad today. So we're finishing on the episode of just over 10,500. We've done another contract, a fertilizing one, just to be a little bit different. We've now got somewhere nice and official for our pickup truck to live. And we are going to be applying for a loan in the very next episode. And probably buying that plot of land. I don't know. Do we take out a slightly bigger loan and buy a tractor? Who knows? I'm not so sure. But I think the last 4, maybe 5 episodes, including this one, have probably been a bit of an introduction to the series, really. I think now we're getting to the juicy bit. I think this is where we are going to start seeing some good progression with that realistic theme. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this one's been alright. This was not as interesting as the last 3 or 4, I'm sure, but I'm glad you've stuck around. Again, if you haven't done yet, just give me that little subscriber button. Cheers and gone.